London. So we pretty much have a Europe game every week until like November, right?
It goes way too far. I think there's a little bit of a lapse, and then there's another one back in week 9. So guess we're getting a bunch of London games now.
Yeah, and yeah, the worst part about it was they put Dolphins and Chiefs in Germany when you're going to be on the West Coast, so you'd have to wake up at 6:30 in the morning to watch it.
Yeah, and that's not ideal for me. Getting up at 6:30, as much as like that game's going to be fantastic, but
Yeah.
6:30 in the morning, Jesus Christ.
And then, so we have two teams that are like a box of chocolates because you never know what you're going to get. In London, we have the Baltimore Ravens that are 4.5-point favorites on the road visiting the Tennessee Titans in London. Titans are the home team. Ravens are the road team in this game. And these are two teams where it's like, wow, we just had probably Lamar Jackson's most embarrassing loss of his career at this point versus the Pittsburgh Steelers. I like the way you lost that game, having drops from Aguilar, and then Lamar throwing an interception in the end zone when all they needed was a field goal to ice that game. And then the Tennessee Titans, great at home this year. When it's on the road, it's a little bit of a different story. We did see that connection with DeAndre Hopkins start to develop, but for a London game, Ravens and Titans, this is a very interesting game because I feel like these are two teams teetering on being bad to great. Like they're two teams that could definitely turn it around, but they've both been good in spots, but also definitely disappointing.
Yeah, I think for the Titans, what's really disappointing me is their offense to this point. You started to see that rapport a little bit with D-Hop and, Derrick Henry. I think he can start to get his legs a little bit in London as well. But I would like to think, and I'm kind of speaking this into existence just based on the past with John Harbaugh, Ravens coming off of a tough loss, Lamar Jackson, if we're anointing him as like a top 5 wide quarterback, this should be a bounce back game for the Ravens, right? Like it should
Right.
be, right? So I'll go in that narrative and say that the Ravens win this game and Lamar Jackson puts on a great game and bounces back from what was definitely his most pathetic game as a pro, losing in a pretty embarrassing fashion with an interception and the goal line and then a fumble to seal the game. They should win this game and take care of business. And then, it's not unlikely that the Titans put up a fight by any means.
Yeah, I think I have to go Titans in this game because this is a rivalry that people forget what happened because it was supposed to be Lamar's big day in the playoffs, and he was going to show everyone that he's that great MVP quarterback, and then the Titans stomped him out, pretty much embarrassed them, and then that's where Mike Vrabel and the Titans really made that their name was versus the Baltimore Ravens, and then they beat them again the regular season, had some injuries in the playoffs, so the Ravens were able to inevitably get them. But I think London is a strange place, and if there's any random place where you're kind of feeling groggy in London, you're kind of feeling out of sorts, if there's anyone I trust to be up and ready to go, it's going to be Derrick Henry. So I think this is going to be a massive Derrick Henry game, and I think the Titans defense with the product that the Ravens offense has been putting on the field the past few weeks. I get you're playing the Steelers in Pittsburgh, but the Titans are no joke on defense. And I think the Colts game, yeah, you're on the road versus the Indianapolis Colts, but that's a rivalry game where you're on the road somewhere where you've struggled, but they're also able to demolish the Bengals at home. I know it's not that impressive because it's the September Bengals, but I think the Titans will be able to get them.
Yeah. I think it's going to be a fight through it all, but
yeah, we do know it'll be a 1-possession game though. I would take the 4.5 points either way.
Yeah, I think this game could be decided by a Justin Tucker or Nick Folk field goal, and it's a London game, so it's a bit of a weird game to start to begin with, but leave it to them. Close game through it all.